So this is the fitting that we're going to reproduce. I actually pulled this out of a skip. I believe it's associated with a canal lock. So as you can see, it's got a square head, quite a long shank, and threading at the bottom. So in order to reproduce it, we need to have a look at how it was made. So it's got a square head, and we do have a mark on the head demonstrating that this is actually collar welded, which is where you wrap a piece of bar, this is square bar, around the top of the shank, hammer weld it into place, and then dress it, which incidentally tells us that the smith who made this one was right-handed because it's got a bias to the right. It is 12 5/8 long below the head, and the head is 1/2 inch thick. Now, because of the condition of it, it's quite hard to determine how thick the shank was originally. Here it's coming up at 5/8. Down here it's coming out at 7/8. But we do have the thread down here, which measures at the thread gauge as 3/4 inch with 10 teeth per inch. So we know that the bar originally was a 3/4 inch bar. It's possible that it was thicker than 3/4 inch and it was just necked down to 3/4 inch at the bottom. But looking at it, I see no sign of this. And the thread itself is 2 inches from the bottom. Projects like this I tend to measure in inches because they were made in inches in the first place. You could do a metric equivalent, it would be slightly different. I'm a conservation blacksmith, so I try and make them as accurately as possible to the originals. This is wrought iron. We're going to pretend the engineer has requested that this be done in S275 mild steel for structural purposes. So I've got some 20mm round bar, and we're going to swage that down using clapper dies to 3/4 inch, and then we'll go from there. So we've now got 15 inches of 3/4 inch round. And you can just see the transition here from where it tapers from 20 round to 3/4 inch round. So the next thing we're going to do is add the head. And for that we're going to use 1/2 inch square, which is actually 12mm square, but it's only 0.2mm difference, so it won't actually affect the size of the head that we end up with. So at the end of the hot works we have a blank. Well, it's still overlong, which is what we want, because it's easier to cut material off than it is to add it afterwards. But as you can see, they're fairly similar. And we've got a lovely blend at the top. You can just see the faintest sign that something's been riveted and fire welded down. And on the underside we had the bolster with the chamfer around the edge, which has given us a nice transition there, which removes any stress risers. Dimensionally, we're all good. Same width, same thickness. So what we'll do now is we'll cut this one down to size and put a thread on it. And here we have it. After threading, so we've got the thread the same length, same gauge of thread. And yeah, as you can see, they're remarkably similar, which is what we wanted. So this will fit straight into the whole design for this one. The only difference between these two is that this one's wrought iron, this one's mild steel, and this one's 150 years old, and this one's less than 3 minutes old. Otherwise, they're pretty much identical.